Now let us talk little bit about the pancreas. Now pancreas contains both exocrine gland as well as endocrine glands. Okay, so suppose this is your pancreas that contains, first of all we'll talk about little bit about the exocrine glands, and this exocrine gland mainly consists of the acinar cells. So these acinar cells, they mainly produces the digestive enzymes which will eventually get released into the duodenum, okay, where most of the digestion will be taking place. So this is the exocrine gland, whereas exocrine gland comprises of 90% of the pancreas, whereas the endocrine gland comprises of just 1% of the endocrine gland. And this endocrine gland of the pancreas is known as islets of Langerhans or pancreatic islets of Langerhans, interspersed everywhere into the pancreas, but mainly they are concentrated into the tail of the pancreas. Now if we try to zoom up one of the pancreatic islet cell, we'll get to know that these islet cell mainly consist of four types of cells. Okay, so what these cells are, we'll check out one by one. So the first cell is the alpha cells. Next they consist of beta cells. Next they consist of delta cells, and lastly they consist of F cells. Now what these cells do, they will release peptide hormones. Alpha cells, they mainly cause release of glucagon. Beta cells, they mainly cause release of insulin. Delta cells, they mainly cause release of somatostatin. Okay. Whereas lastly the F cells, they are also known as PP cells, they will produce pancreatic polypeptides. Now if you want to see the location of these cells into the pancreatic islets, we'll get to know that these beta cells are mainly located at the core of the pancreatic islets. At the center, beta cells are present. Whereas on the periphery are the alpha cells. Okay, so in the pancreatic islets we can see that beta cells are present at the core, whereas the alpha cells are present at the periphery. Now regarding the delta cells are either present at the center, in between, or at the periphery, anywhere. Okay, delta cells are present anywhere, whereas the F cells, they are also present anywhere. Okay, now what are the work of glucagon, insulin, somatostatin, or pancreatic polypeptide? Just ignore pancreatic polypeptide. We do not have any such role of pancreatic polypeptide. Just focus upon glucagon, insulin, and somatostatin. Yes, one more important thing: beta cells, they not only releases insulin, they will also release and one more important hormone, that is amylin. Okay. Now, what is the role of alpha cells? It will start producing glucagon. And what is the role of glucagon? Yes, these are the agents. This is the kind of hormone that will cause an increase in the blood glucose level. Okay. So what glucagon will do? It will increase blood glucose level. Next, regarding insulin and amylin, when these insulin and amylin are being secreted, see, these beta cells are mainly present at the center. Okay, and when beta cells will get active, whenever inside our body nutrients are being present in rich amount. Just for example, glucose. When the glucose level is very much high inside our body, at that time beta cell will be released, means it will start getting activated, which will cause release of insulin and amylin. And what this insulin and amylin will do, it will start reducing the elevated blood glucose level. Okay, so insulin and amylin both are responsible for reducing the blood glucose level. Now when blood glucose level is reduced beyond its limit and it has gone to hypoglycemia, under that condition the alpha cell will get activated. Okay, so alpha cell will get activated when the blood glucose level is very much low. Beta cell will get activated when the blood glucose level is very much high. Next, about delta cells that release somatostatin. Somatostatin are the inhibitors of both insulin as well as glucagon. Okay, so somatostatin will inhibit both alpha as well as the beta cell. Okay, so this is the thing. Next, one more important thing is a little bit you know about the blood supply. So similarly, this is suppose your pancreatic beta cell. So whatever the artery is approaching to this beta cell for the supply of the oxygenated blood. So initially the blood is supplied to the core first of all, at the center. The blood is supplied at the center, and who which cell is present at the center? Yes, beta cell. That means the very first cell that will receive the blood is the beta cell. So first of all, beta cell will receive the blood, and from here via the capillaries the blood will be then supplied to the periphery. And what is present at the periphery? Yes, the alpha cells are present at the periphery. So what does it means? It means that whenever in our body the glucose level is more, first of all the beta cell will come to know, and the beta cell will get activated, causing release of insulin. Next, same blood will be reaching to the alpha cells which are present at the periphery. Okay, and what kind of blood is this? Yes, this blood contains a rich amount of glucose. So when blood is rich in glucose, at that time the alpha cell will be inhibited. Okay, so this is the way. Alright, so whenever blood is reaching, it is approaching to the pancreatic islets of beta cells. Okay, so first of all the beta cell will be receiving the blood first of all, and if that blood is rich in glucose, means the beta cell will get activated and will cause the release of insulin. And increased blood glucose level, it is an inhibitor of the alpha cells. Okay, so this is the blood supply for the pancreatic islets, and this is a little bit briefing regarding the pancreatic islets.